I mean, look at me. I'm a shadow myself. I need a hat. I'm recording this footage on the GoPro 9. I've not had a GoPro since around about 2014. I think it's the GoPro Hero 4. Bear with us, I have no idea what this audio's like. I haven't brought a backup out with me, but hopefully it'll be okay. Guys, please subscribe to the channel if you've not already subscribed. I promise if you don't, you'll never be able to take a good photograph again because you'll be cursed forever. So one of the things I've been thinking about and I've been writing about in my journal is street photography and the rules of street photography. I'm in this Facebook group, and it's a pretty cool Facebook group. There's some really awesome work in there, but it's a mixed crowd. There's a whole bunch of photographers that are just starting out, and there's guys that have been doing it for years, which that too I really like. One of the things I notice, and I think it kind of reminds me of me when I started out, is that guys that are new to street photography and photography in general, is that it's very important to them that they know what street photography is. It's almost as if they assume that there's some street photography law or some street photography manual or this sacred street photography script somewhere that those of us who are more experienced are privy to, and they're not. There isn't. Just enjoy taking photographs. The more I do this, like as the years pass, for me what I'm seeing, it's more about just getting out with a camera and just enjoying it. For the reasons I picked up that camera in the first place, pretty much. But for sure, there's it's important to anchor yourself to wanting to take better pictures, to wanting to take great pictures. But don't be scared of what other people are going to think of your work. Or rather, don't let what you fear others are going to say about your work dictate how you shoot, how you take photographs. Because then you're always at the effect of what other people think. It's a habit that's, if you get into, it's very difficult to unravel. But even the criteria for what makes a good photo or a great photograph is kind of subjective to each person's preference, right? I mean, look, the fact of the matter is, if a whole bunch of people, if the majority of people don't like the images that you're posting, it makes sense to get feedback. I mean, the human eye is attracted to a kind of a particular kind of symmetry amidst beautiful light, which could be considered a good photograph, yeah, or a great photograph. But that comes with practice. That comes about from just taking a whole bunch of photographs a lot of the time. Don't be scared to share your work. Yeah, it's important. It kind of toughens you up. But I think more importantly, give up the idea that there's a correct way of doing it. But any rules or constraints you put on yourself, do so as a way of improving your work. Use guidelines as a way of challenging yourself, but remember, they're just made up. I mean, photography is only, what, a couple of hundred years old at most, isn't it? Anyway, it's a young art form. So how to do it is at best presumptuous. Yeah, like guidelines, I think, rather than rules, is a more apt way of receiving feedback. But be inspired rather than influenced, and push it even further than that. See what's been done before, for sure, and then throw a spanner in the works. Otherwise, you're just going to be part of the crowd. You're just going to be a sheep. There's nothing wrong with sheep, but who wants to be a sheep? Awareness is key, guys. If we're not aware of how we're being influenced, then we're kind of like a ball in a pinball machine, bouncing around all over the place. So someone gives me feedback, if there's no awareness of it, like, how am I interpreting what they're saying? Like, am I taking it as gospel, or am I being discerning? If at all possible, retain your enthusiasm for just picking up a camera and clicking, guys. Everything else on top of that is kind of trimmings, really. Like I had like a real job. I used to work in an investment bank. And when I left that job and shifted into doing photography full time as my profession, I made the choice and the decision that if I ever lost my passion for it, for the click, then I may as well just go back and do a job, and then just stay doing photography for fun. It has to be fun. My best photographs, the photographs that I love of mine, but also the photographs that get the most feedback on social media, likes and comments and all of that kind of a thing, if that's important, but also that have facilitated me getting work from them. Yeah, basically my best work is always a consequence of me enjoying taking photographs. I have to retain that. I always have. I'm even to this day, I take photographs every day, whether I'm being paid or I'm not being paid, because I love it so much. I just love I love that being able to freeze a moment in time for me is the only real magic that I know. It's alchemy. I was a bit kind of wary about doing this video because it could easily be taken as like, well then any photograph of a person on the street is street photography. Well, it kind of is, because it's a picture of a person on the street, but when you pick up a guitar for the first time, you can strum it and it'll make a noise. It doesn't necessarily mean you're Jimi Hendrix, does it? But I wanted to do this video because I see so many guys starting out in photography and street photography who are just so passionate and excited about the possibility of their taking their photography to the next step, and you know, so they're doing more than just kind of snapshotting, and then they go into these groups and they kind of go looking for a fixed way of doing it, which is born out of insecurity, right? There isn't. Like, it's fine to be scared as well when you're shooting. It's fine to have that vulnerability, because then that's going to spill into your work, and there's something very attractive about that. So for sure, be inspired, but don't kind of be rigid in fixing yourself to a way of doing it. Hope this made some sense. It's my first video for a month or so yeah, bear with me. I'm gonna do another one next week. Like I said, please subscribe to the video, guys. It's such a big support for me, it really is. There's a whole bunch of you guys watching these videos not subscribed, and you're coming back and watching again and still not subscribed. So please subscribe, maybe hit the notifications, then you'll be reminded when I post another video. And please hit the like button, guys. Thank you so much. It's getting a bit cold now. I'll see you next week, guys.